I would like to thank the organizers of the Bangalore Literature Festival for the opportunity to make a short presentation on the International Music and Arts Society's recently launched book, Celebrating the Arts, 40 Years of the International Music and Arts Society in Bangalore, that traces the journey of the society in promoting the arts in the city. The society was founded by Rani Vijaya Devi, with a group of friends and enthusiasts in December 1974. May I have the first two slides, please? On the suggestion of her brother, the late Maharaja of Mysore, Sri Jaichamaraj Wadiyar, continuing the traditions of the Mysore royal family as patrons of music and the arts. Mysore state under the Maharajas, particularly Krishnaraj Wadiyar IV, played a significant role in promoting music, not just Carnatic music, but 3 different genres of music, and the palace played a particularly important part in popularizing the study of Western classical music. In a region where Carnatic music prevailed and Hindustani music took root in the northern part of the state, it is interesting and unusual that Western classical music evoked such interest and study. I'm going a little fast because otherwise we won't all be able to make our presentations. This can be attributed to 3 developments. First, the interest of the Maharaja of Mysore in music, the emergence of the police band over a century and a half ago, which in addition to playing Carnatic music also had a very good Western band, and lastly, the Good Shepherd Convent, which opened in Mysore. My mother, Rani Vijaya Devi, sister of Jaichamaraj Wadiyar. Could I have the other slides? We can't see what...
Actually, we can't see
we don't know what...
We don't know what's happening.
Can we turn this slightly? The sister of Jaichamaraj Wadiyar and her siblings grew up in the Mysore Palace during the 30s. I think we need all the palace slides now. There are about 3 or 4. During the time of their grandmother, Kempa Nanjamani Vani Vilas Sanidhana, the one-time regent of Mysore during the minority of her son, Krishnaraj Wadiyar IV, who ascended the throne in 1902. During this period, that is the 1930s, the Good Shepherd Convent, which had opened a branch in Mysore, were invited by the Maharani to send their nuns to teach the ladies of the court English and sewing. When she found out that the nuns also gave Western music, classical music lessons, she asked if they could teach her grandchildren music. This is how, I think no slides yet, this is how my mother and her brother Jaichamaraj Wadiyar and their younger sister Sujaya Devi started learning music. 2 of the nuns, Sister Ignatius and Sister Morris, played an important part in inculcating in their pupils a love of Western music. This is mentioned in an article by my mother entitled The Cultural Atmosphere of the Mysore Palace, which is in our book. Since its inception, the International Music and Arts Society has remained one of Bangalore's most active cultural and charitable non-profit organizations, dedicated to the promotion and appreciation of the arts through a rich diversity of music, dance, theatre and visual art programs by Indian and foreign artists. Over the 48 years of its existence, the Society has presented over 400 events, 130 of which are featured in the book. This is an early picture of some of the committee members at tea, and there was always great enthusiasm about all the events. One of the features that set the Society apart from many of the other organizations at the time was the very personal flavor of its interactions with many of the artists it sponsored. The committee members often hosted visiting performers in their homes, and this resulted in some long-lasting friendships and revisits. Often the artists would give an impromptu recital at a home, as when famous Hindustani vocalist Pandit Jasraj, who performed for the Society for our 20th anniversary, can you just hold the slides for a bit? I'll tell you when to. Came to a society dinner at our founder member Prema Bhakta's home, sat down in front of her puja room and began singing with such fervor and beauty that we were just transfixed and, in spellbound silence. He was quite a wonderful man, and apart from a really wonderful singer. A very small little anecdote about how we had a visit by a French guitarist, Jean-Pierre Jumez. He was accompanied by his wife, who was carrying a rather capacious sort of bag. And Ila Chandrasekhar, our vice president at the time, made friends with the lady. And she was shocked when the lady opened her bag to show her a small Brazilian monkey sitting inside it. Apparently, they had brought the pet with them from France, and before every immigration check, the lady quietly repaired to the bathroom and popped the monkey into her blouse till they had safely got through. Those were the days before stringent airport checks. My mother, who had been greatly looking forward to the concert, as the guitarist had also had lessons with the famous Spanish guitarist Segovia, whom she had heard in New York, was completely knocked out by this. Being very fond of animals and having been the president of the SPCA, her concern and worry about the little monkey quite eclipsed her enjoyment of the concert. So we had many amusing incidents also, and somehow through all this, the society celebrated each of its milestone events. You can now change the slide, please. With special concerts or events. Our inaugural concert was a Bharatanatyam performance by Vaijayanti Mala Bali. Next slide. Early concerts were, one of the early concerts was a two-piano recital by my mother and her pianist friend from Italy, Anna Rosa Tade. A memorial concert for Jayachamraj Vadiyar featuring some of his, you can change the slide, some of his Carnatic compositions. A wonderful cello concert by world-renowned Russian cellist Mstislav Rostropovich, arranged for us by Dr. Chandrasekhar, the husband of Ila Chandrasekhar, and a patron of our society. Before that, the IMS had hosted the Carnatic vocalist Dr. Balamurali Krishna, who had not visited the city in many years due to a misunderstanding with some of the earlier sponsors. But he was persuaded to do so by one of our committee members. A coup that earned us a lot of goodwill and a record audience in the town hall where the concert was held. Our 20th anniversary concert, as mentioned earlier, please change the slide, was a performance by Hindustani vocalist Pandit Jasraj. For our Silver Jubilee, we had two back-to-back concerts by two iconic musicians, a sitar recital by Pandit Vilayat Khan and a Carnatic violin recital by L. Subramaniam, both to full halls. For our 30th anniversary, Randit, you can change, we departed from tradition and organized an exhibition of heritage textiles by well-known collectors and fashion designers from erstwhile royal houses like Raghvendra Rathore, Muzaffar Ali of Kotwara, Bridget Singh of Navalgarh, and from Karnataka, Sri Shrikanta Datta Narsimraj Vadiyar, one of the patrons of our society, who showed his Mysore silk sari collection. The chief guest at the packed event was Rajmata Gayatri Devi, who stole the show literally. Our 35th anniversary featured two special concerts. One, a piano concert by Canadian pianist Paul Stewart at the Bangalore Palace, where he played the compositions by the Russian composer Metner, whom the late Maharaja had patronized. And the second concert was a Carnatic vocal music performance by Prince Rama Varma, also in the Grand Darbar Hall of the Bangalore Palace. Our 40th anniversary event in 2015 under the Double Eagle was a Bharatanatyam recital by Lakshmi Gopal Swami and Satyanarayan Raju at the Chaudhaya Hall. There were many other special events. I don't think we really have time to go through everything, but there were two centenary concerts at the end, where the symphony, one for Jayachamraj Vadiyar, where the Symphony Orchestra of India performed, you can change the slide, Ranjit, at the Bangalore Palace, and the second featured pianist Karl Lachmeyer, who's with us here in the audience, in a lecture recital titled The Maharaja and Musical Modernism. This slide actually is about George Michel, the architectural historian who gave many lectures for us. Ranjit, you need to go on with the slides. In 2022, Rani Vijaya Devi's next was centenary was celebrated with a piano recital by young prodigy Syed Fateh Ahmed at the Bangalore International Centre, and a Carnatic fusion concert, Wings of Melody, featuring leading musicians of the city at the Chaudhaya Memorial Hall. All this and more is documented in our book. I think I'll have to stop here so that my fellow authors get a chance to give you their insights and experiences in producing this collaborative volume, which has been an immensely rich and rewarding journey. Thank you very much.